What's up, everybody? What's up? I'm your boy, Young Decent. Welcome to the Young Decent podcast. Today is a very special Valentine's Day episode. But before we get into that, I always like to talk about sports and got a little something in my little. But before we get into that, I'm going to talk about sports. And I would actually like to talk about Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors. And what I want to talk about is don't throw away Klay. We got these rumors going around. We have people talking about Klay being washed up and he needs to be traded. Kendrick Perkins. And I would like this to end immediately. You do not throw away a diamond or gold because it has a little blemish on it. All you do is wipe it off, repair it, send it to rehabilitation. You know what I'm saying? And you keep on rocking with it until the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? So you do not, by any means necessary, trade Klay. Maybe he needs to come off the bench. Look at Russell Westbrook. Went to LA, totally stunk it up with the Lakers. Now he's with the Clippers. He has a reboot start over. He's been polished again. And now he's thriving, and you got Stephen A. giving him his props. You got a lot of people giving him his props. He's sort of kind of redeemed himself. So do not throw away Klay. The man still could shoot. He's just in a slump. Let him rock. That's my wisdom right there. And you take it to the bank and cash it. And that's it. Okay? So now I would actually like to get into the scripture of the day on this Valentine's Day because we're talking about love. We have two kinds of love here. We have God's love, the greatest love of all. We have romantic love. Right now we're going to talk about God's love. We're going to get into 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. And I'll leave it at this. Love never fails, right? That is a good word. So, moving on from that, I've been writing romantic comedies, y'all. Your boy has been putting the pen to the pad and writing a lot of stuff. Yeah, I've been seeing the skits, the short film skits, and, you know, me kind of like shooting my practice shot, you know, just trying to be creative, right? So I've been writing romantic comedies, these short films, and I have one called Too Soon. I have one, I forgot the name of the other one. It's called, The Last Shot. It's called The Last Shot. And wow, I'm like, wow, how did I get in the romantic comedy lane? So I started watching a whole bunch of romantic comedies. I'm like, I know, you know, it's time for your boy to find somebody, you know. Yeah, it's time for your boy to find somebody, but some kind of way, you know, I don't know if that's connected, but I've been sort of watching these romantic comedies, right? And I wrote one called Too Soon. And it's actually pretty much like kind of like about me, but I'm going to star in this one. I'm actually going to make like, I guess this is like a debut of me kind of like acting for a whole short film, like some legit type stuff we talking about here. And I hope to be shooting that soon, maybe this summer, maybe this spring. So keep it posted. But what I want to do right now is actually this is special. This is a special moment because I'm gonna give you my top five romantic movies. Now, we're not talking about of all time. We're just talking about as I've been sort of doing my romantic comedy binge. I've seen some terrible ones because most romantic comedies are just terrible. Same plot. I don't know who's green lighting this stuff, but I've come across some that are really good. So this is no particular order. And by the way, shout out to Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black History Month. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Shout out to Black History Month because that's love. You know, the way people, you know, came before us and fought for us so that we can have rights and freedoms and stuff like that. That's love right there. But hold on. Wait a minute. We talk about my top 8. Because listen, it should be top 10, but right now, I could only think about 8. So I wrote down top 8 romantic comedies. And I'm going to give it to you in no particular order. I'm not saying one is better than the other. That's not the goal here. The goal here is I'm recommending some movies that I think are really good. And they might fall under the radar. Or maybe it's like a Amazon movie. Some of them are Amazon. Some of them are Hallmark. Some of them are like Lifetime. And it's like movies that fall under the radar and probably won't get the props they want because they're not on in being premiered in the movie theater, some of them. But nonetheless, I think these are really good. And some of them I'm looking, I think 2 of them did premiere in the movie theater. The other 6, I don't think they did. They was just like straight to like online streaming. All right, no further ado. My top 8 romantic movies. Now, romantic comedies, romantic dramas. One of them is like a romantic civil rights sort of comedy. So it's like it has 3 elements in it, and it's like really funny. And we're gonna get into it right now. So without further ado, here we are. Number 1, Throwback Holiday. Number 2, Good Deeds. Number 3, Something from Tiffany's. I've watched this jump off like 4 times. I'm thinking, I was like, why? Maybe it's the daddy-daughter dynamic relationship because, you know, I've always wanted a daughter. And now this one has a particular, I guess you call it interracial, biracial sort of dynamic where it's a black guy, white woman, and I've never really seen romantic comedies be like, you know, interracial. It's usually like white, white, black, black, or Spanish, Spanish, or whatever race you is. I never really seen it mixed. So I was like, that was cool, daddy-daughter relationship. And then the whole story was just really kind of good. And then I thought the chemistry, because that's what it's about. The chemistry was there. So I was like, whoa. I'm like watching, I'm like, oh shoot. They like each other. And then like when it first started, you don't know that they are going to go that well. I'm telling the plot. All right, my bad. I spoiled it. I spoiled it. My bad. All right, moving on. Rolling into Christmas. It's this singer, girl. She's like a R&B singer. I didn't know who she was. I just saw her acting, and I was like, "Oh, she's pretty nice." You know, we'll talk about that another time. All right. There's one with dang, I forget her name, but it's called "Death Saved My Life." That one is domestic violence. There's another one called My Other Mother. So this one is about a mother-daughter relationship. She gave her daughter up for foster care, but there's a romantic story. I was like, I really like this one. It like kind of like touches you in all kind of areas, sentimental, foster care, then you got the romantic part and all that. So it's very like emotional jump off, kind of be in your feelings kind of jump off. And the proposal was pretty dope. That one, came in the movies, got two big stars in it. So of course it's a good one. But I was like, this jump off is really funny. And we're going to get into another one. It's the civil rights kind of comedy jump off, and it's called White Water. This one is called White Water, and it's a story about this young man. He's about 7 years old, and he wants to know what's the difference between the colored water and the white water. Because back then, 1965 or something like that, you wasn't able to drink it was segregated, the segregated South. You weren't able to drink from the white water if you were black. You were colored, you had to drink from the colored water. So Shorty wanted to know what's the difference between that. But it was pretty it's a good movie. It's a good movie because it was funny, but they got one scene in there that will kind of make you nervous. Black History Month is not just a month that comes by and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we celebrate this every year. Okay, so what? No. Don't forget where we have come from. Let's not forget where we have come from. I think that the younger generation, those that are just born, those that are like 12, those that are like 13, 14, maybe even 20 to 25 right now, or even 30. I think a lot of them have forgotten. I think that the schools they're not talking about this. We used to have the lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Used to have that song that kind of reminds you of black, but you're not allowed to sing gospel songs in the church. You're not allowed to sing that song in school. You're not allowed. They're taking it out of the textbooks and stuff like that. And we have ourselves a little bit of a problem here where I think our history is being, I don't know what the word is. It's like it's not being highlighted. Even though you have Black History Month, it's like people are not listening. And for some kind of way, I'm living in Atlanta right now, from Brooklyn, baby, but living in Atlanta right now. And the history of African American history here is very rich, and I need to get to the Martin Luther King Memorial Museum here, and I want to take a trip to Mississippi. I want to go to Alabama. I want to go to all these different places where the civil rights movement was happening in the segregated South and all that. And I want to get a feel for what my people had to go through. I wanted a better understanding. I want a better appreciation for all this. And I'm not really sure where all this has come from. I found myself even like listening to Martin Luther King speeches, and this is before I got to Atlanta. So it hasn't really nothing to do with the move. But now that I'm here, I'm like, man, I want to really get integrated, or whatever the word is, into that, and do a deeper dive into my history so that I can appreciate it better, because we just can't go back to where we came from. People being beaten, hosed, hit with a knife stick, picking cotton. I heard Jesse Jackson say on I was watching A Different World, he was speaking, he said, we went from picking cotton to picking presidents. And I was like, man, wow, that's a bar right there. you know, because I'm like, wow, where we come from. And I don't think African American history is just for African Americans. It's something everyone can learn from. But if it's your people, what you've been through, well, if it's your people, they've been through it. They fought for us. You understand? They took the beatings, the whips, the chains, the slavery, all that stuff, segregation, get to the back of the bus. They went through all that so we wouldn't have to go through it. Now, we can't forget that. We have to appreciate that, right? So I think, like people protesting and they're doing it in a way like non-violence, getting hit, hoes, dogs sicked on them, non-violence, not fighting back. That's love. Happy Valentine's Day. That's love. They did it for you. They fought for you. They fought for me. So we can't forget this. We need to celebrate it. Rest in peace, Martin Luther King's son. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? We can't forget those people that came before us and fought for us. And now that what was Martin Luther King's dream? How can we grab the torch and how can we keep pressing forward to keep progressing and not degressing? Okay. So yeah, that's probably all I got to say for today. I'll shift back into the romantic love. And anybody out there that, you're in your 40s, you're in your 30s, you're in your 20s, you're in your 50s, you're in your 60s, and you're still looking for love. I speak to you. I speak to myself. Don't give up. Anything's possible. You'll find the right person. You just got to keep the door open. My door is open, and I'm confident one day I'm going to find somebody. Until then, I'll keep writing these romantic comedy short films. I keep writing my love songs. I'll keep giving compliments. I'll keep enjoying life and living. And I think that's it for today. So, love is patient, love is kind, younger generation. Never forget where we've come from. Don't throw away clay. This is the Young Decent Podcast. I'm your boy, Young Decent. Happy Valentine's Day to all the lovebirds out there. It's a good day. So enjoy it. I'm out.